Hi, I'm Tina. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a 45-minute practice that is beginner friendly, although a little on the stronger side. But don't be afraid, give it a try. I have this practice to help us stay in the moment. This is a very crazy time in the world, and there's a lot of anxiety going on. But really, let's remember that we have the calm inside of us, and what really matters is the moment that we're in. So, let's get started. All right, starting in Sukhasana. Come to the seated position on your mat of your choosing, wherever you feel comfortable. Legs can be one in front of the other, crisscross, and you can sit up on a bolster or a, a pillow, whatever makes you comfortable, an easy seat. We're starting here so that we can go ahead and just arrive. Checking in today with where we are in this moment rather than thinking about what could be happening later on or what has already happened today. We're going to find the beauty in the moment as it is right now. So in Sukhasana, checking in, taking a soft gaze down to the floor or the mat, or shutting your eyes down all the way, coming to an introspective perspective, and just take 3 big breaths, deliberate big breaths in and out. I invite you to, as you breathe in, check the quality of the air as it enters and the quality of the air, the warmth, as it exits your body. One more deep breath in, feeling the chest expand. And exhale, release. From here, go ahead and open your eyes and welcome yourself to the practice today. So good for you. On an inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale up, imagining you are pulling your arms through honey or molasses. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down. Exhale, pressing that air down. One more. Inhale, scooping those arms up. Gazing up if that feels good to your neck. And back down. This time, taking a twist over to the right. Left arm up and over to the right knee. Growing tall in the spine, crown of the head up, torso long. Inhale, reach the crown to the ceiling, and exhale, soften into the twist. Just a tiny bit. All of this movement matters, even if you can't even really see it happening. You can feel it in your body. Inhale again, grow tall, sitting up tall, pulling the belly in, shoulders down. Exhale, soften into the twist once more. One more inhale and twist, exhale. Back to center. This time, right arm up and over to the left knee. Left arm behind you. Growing tall again. Inhale. We're taking 3 breaths to work into this twist. Inhale, spine is long. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale and feeling that stretch in the right side body. Inhale back to center. This time, go ahead and reach your left arm out and hover that hand just inches above the mat. Take your right ear to the right shoulder and feel that stretch along that left side of the neck. Now, I invite you to micro move your head around just a tiny bit, working out any little kinks or any places that you can tell need a little extra attention, bringing your awareness to the sensation in the side neck as you move your head just slightly. Take 2 more breaths right here. Back to center. We'll take it to the other side. Right arm long, hovering just above that mat, and left ear to the shoulder. Pulling that chin really up to the ceiling if that feels all right for your neck. And then just playing with the micro movements to find those little spots that need attention. 3 breaths here as you work through the stretch in the right neck. Okay, back to center. That feels pretty good. From here, press into the left arm, keeping that left arm straight as you drop the shoulder forward and toward your right knee. Feeling a nice stretch in that left side body. Breathing here. Inhale, elongating the spine. Exhale, twisting. Inhale back to center, and we'll take that to the other side. Dropping that shoulder down, keeping that arm straight, pressing into the knee really, and bringing that shoulder down towards the opposite knee. Spine is long. Now, if you find you're hunching here, be mindful to bring that spine as neutral as possible as you twist and gluing that both sit bones evenly into the mat. Taking this to wherever is comfortable for you, wherever it feels good, really. 2 more breaths here. And back up to center. And now we'll take it forward. Go ahead and walk, keeping that spine again as straight and neutral as possible. So walking your hands out in front of you, you're going to start feeling this in the hip flexors, gluing those sit bones to the mat, walking those fingers out just to where it feels okay for you, not looking for pain or rounding of the spine. So just take this to where your body says it wants to go. Inhaling, imagining the crown of your head being pulled forward and the chest down. One more breath here. Walking those hands back in and make your way to tabletop position. Hands and knees. Take your time. Set up intentionally. Be mindful of your alignment. Knees are directly under the hips. Wrists are under the shoulders. Tailbone is down, belly is hugging in. Going into cat and cow now. Drop the belly. Bring the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale. Round the spine, bringing the belly up to the spine, really, doming that back, tucking that chin if that feels good to you, and then setting your heels or your hips, sit bones back to your heels. Inhale, coming forward. Cow pose, dropping the belly. Shoulders pressing your palms into the mat. Active arms and shoulders, shoulder blades pulling toward one another. Exhale, round it in, setting the sit bones back down onto the heels. Inhale, back up. Cow pose once more. Pressing into those arms, doming that upper back. And round it in. Bring it down. Sit bones to the heels. Back up to tabletop now. Go reach that right leg long, tucking those toes under, pressing that heel toward the back of the mat, pressing again into those arms and those fingertips, very mindfully, thinking only of the sensations in your body right now. Hover those toes above, or hover those toes up and bring them parallel to the mat. And then reach the opposite arm, the left arm, forward for balancing tabletop. 3 breaths here. Bring it back in, neutral tabletop. 1 round of cat and cow. Arching the belly or arching the back. Chest is forward, arms are pressing up. Ooh, creaking in the back. Feels pretty good. Rounding it in for cat pose. Tucking the chin. Now to the other side. Left leg long, tucking those toes. Pressing into those arms, active arms. Don't forget about them. Pressing that heel down toward the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in that calf. Going into balancing table now. Hovering those feet above the mat, off the mat. You can stay right here if this is working for you. Just stay right here. If you'd like to go further into the balancing table, bring that leg, the long leg, parallel to the mat and reaching the right arm out. Imagining streams of energy shooting out the fingers and the toes. You can flex that foot if that feels better. You can point, whichever you like. We're staying here for 3 breaths. And release. Setting up now for thread the needle. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. And noticing here, how far are you able to reach this arm up? Not very far for me today. We'll see how this helps me out. Then we're going to bring that arm underneath the left, shoulder to the mat, ear to the mat, left arm long, left leg long. Stay here if you'd like. If you'd like to go further, lifting that leg up, For balancing, thread the needle. 3 breaths here. Bringing that knee back down, walking that hand in and pressing up, reaching that right arm back up to the ceiling. Much more open now, feels good. And release. 1 round of cat and cow here, dropping the belly. Inhale, exhale, round it in. Other side now. Left arm up to the ceiling, noticing then how far your arm is coming up to the ceiling. Then bringing it down for thread the needle. Shoulder and ear to the mat. Left arm under the right. Reaching that right arm forward. Staying here, or if you'd like, right leg long. And staying here if you'd like. Or if you'd like to go further, lifting that leg up in line with the torso. Flexing that foot, pointing that foot, whichever feels good to you. We're here for 3 breaths. Squeezing that glute, keeping that leg up. And bring it down. Walking that right arm up and reaching the left arm back up to the ceiling. Much better. And release. Send the knees wide and come into your wide-legged child's pose. Reaching those hands forward. Modifying this again if you need to put your forehead on a pillow or whatever feels good to you. Bringing the forehead toward the mat into your little cave here. It's a good time to congratulate yourself for showing up, tuning in, dedicating your practice, finding calm in a world right now that is very questionable, I'd say, bringing a lot of anxiety. Where right now we are focusing on right now. Today is a great day of opportunity to be exactly where you need to be. Go ahead and rise back up. Bring the knees under the hips and curl the toes under and send the hips up high to the first downward facing dog for the day. Knees can stay as bent as needed and pressing into those palms, those fingertips, taking a little bit of that pressure out of the wrist by suctioning those finger pads to the mat, pressing through the shoulders, belly toward the thighs, knees are as bent as needed, and the heels are yearning toward the mat. Excellent. Baby steps now to the top of the mat. Just taking your time, appreciating what this feels like in your body. Arriving to the top of the mat, belly toward the thighs, knees are bent as needed now. Not rounding this back. We're keeping this back a little more neutral and straight. And forward fold and hang the head. If that feels good to you, this is our ragdoll. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hands come to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, rising all the way up, leading with the chest. Slowly. Inhale those arms up to the ceiling. Hands to heart center. Excellent, excellent job. Let's take a couple half sun salutations. Fingers come down. Inhale, arms up. Slight back bend. Swan diving down all the way to the forward fold, belly to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, leading with the chest again, all the way up. Arms up to the ceiling. Hands to prayer center, Anjali Mudra. One more. Reach up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, swan diving it down, belly to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, feeling a wonderful stretch in the hamstring there. Exhale, fold it down. Plant the palms. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back to plank pose. If you can lower your knees if you'd like. Holding plank pose, 3 breaths. And hips up high to downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Sigh it out. Inhale, right foot up to the ceiling, keeping those hips square to the mat. Hinging forward, bringing that knee to the nose. And stepping up between the palms. Lowering that back knee. Low lunge here. Front knee is over, under the front knee is over the ankle. Rising up, tucking that tailbone down. Inhale. Exhale, sinking a little lower into that stretch of the left front hip, the hip flexor. 2 more breaths here. You can reach your arms up to the ceiling if that feels okay. Moving into Ardha Hanuman half splits. Bringing that back hip over the knee. Walking, you might want to walk that front foot out a little. And this front leg can be bent as much as needed to keep that back flat. Now we're working on balance here. If you'd like, you can keep your hands at prayer center, bringing the belly toward the thigh, feeling a nice stretch in that hamstring. You can bring your hands to the mat if that feels good. Now, the most important thing here, in my opinion, is keeping the spine long, the crown of the head pulling forward, and digging that front heel into the mat. Breathing here. Rolling forward onto that front foot. Lifting the back knee, planting the left hand down for easy twist, as though you're pulling a bow. You're going to reach that right arm up to the ceiling, gaze up, and bring it back down. Frame that foot, step back to plank, holding for 3 breaths. And sending the hips up high to downward facing dog. 1 full breath here. Inhale, left leg up to the ceiling. Hips are square into our three-legged dog. Hinging forward, bringing that knee in, knee to nose, and then stepping it up between the palms. Lower that back knee for our low lunge. Back foot can be toes tucked or flat to the mat, your choice. Powering it up, pulling that energy up to your low lunge. 3 breaths here as you are mindful to pull the belly in, the tailbone down, keeping that spine upright. Sinking, if you can, into that stretch of the right hip flexor. Reaching the arms up to the ceiling if that feels good to you. Hands to heart center. Setting up now for our half splits. Bringing that back hip over the knee, walking that front foot out maybe a little. Remember, integrity in the spine here, long spine. Taking this to your sweet spot, whatever feels good to you. Bringing the belly toward the thigh, digging that front heel in, bringing your hands to the mat if that feels better. Feeling a nice stretch in that hamstring there. So good for you. Couple breaths here. Rolling forward onto that front foot, bringing the knee over the ankle again. Plant that right palm next to the arch there, lifting that back knee in, and then pulling that left arm, shoulder up, gazing up to the ceiling for easy twist. And bring it back down. Step it back to plank. 3 breaths here. You can lower the knees if you'd like. Smile. And back to downward facing dog. Pressing into those palms, bringing the integrity to the shoulders. Tailbone up to the ceiling. Chest toward the thighs, heels toward the mat. Great job. Go ahead and look forward and make your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Number 7 shape. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. Whew, feeling good. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hands to heart center. Let's take a couple balance poses here. Lift, go ahead and shift your weight to the right foot, lifting that left knee up. Yogi's choice. You can stay here. You can take your version of a tree pose. Toes on the mat, foot up to the calf or up to the thigh. Or you can take a half lotus here, bringing that foot up and over the thigh, pressing that foot into the thigh and balancing here, whatever you choose. It's your practice, you choose. Breathing here, take 3 breaths, slow and mindful. Pressing that knee outward if you're in tree pose or half lotus. From here, Release and keep that knee lifted. We're going into our high lunge. Shift forward at the waist, at the hips, and have faith. Bending into that front knee and placing the foot back to your high lunge here. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Palms to heart center. Going into our twist. Bringing that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. This is a very, very challenging balance pose. If you don't want to try this, that's perfectly fine. You just stay right up here in your high lunge. For your twist, elbow comes to the outside of the knee. Pressing that elbow into the knee, bringing the chest up. If you're in your twist, come back to center. Warrior two. Pivot that back foot. Send those arms out. Opposite directions. Gaze over the front fingers. Reach forward. Reverse warrior. And bring it all the way down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. You can step baby steps or hop or float. Whatever you like. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Reach up to the ceiling. Hands to heart center. Let's take that to the other side now. Shifting the weight to the left foot. Bringing that right knee up. Staying here, working on your balance, finding a focal point to concentrate. Stay here, or you can take a tree pose or a standing half lotus. Bringing that knee over the thigh, pressing that knee down and out. Focusing on balance here. So good for you. Keeping you in the moment. Appreciating where you are right now. Releasing if you're in tree pose or half lotus. Lifting that knee. Now you know where we're going. Have faith. Stepping back to high lunge. Hinge forward. Bending into that front knee. And stepping back for high lunge. Arms can reach up to the ceiling or stay at prayer center. Inhale. If you'd like, you can take a twist here, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, keeping that chest lifted. Elbow presses into the outside of the knee. Chest yearns upward. Back to high lunge. Reaching up. Sending it to warrior two, pivoting that back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Arms in opposite directions, sinking into that front bent knee. You are strong. Your yoga mat has your back in times of maybe a little bit of chaos. This is where we find our moment, the only moment that counts, the one right now. Reaching forward with the front fingers, sending it back to reverse warrior. Cartwheeling it back down, framing the foot, stepping back to plank pose. And hips up high to downward facing dog. Excellent job. This time, right leg to the ceiling, opening that hip. Bend that knee, squeeze that glute, press into both hands equally, keeping those shoulders aligned. Hinging forward, straightening that front foot, coming forward and place that knee somewhere behind the right wrist for pigeon pose. Inch that back foot back. Breathing, staying up high if you'd like, or coming to the forearms, or perhaps all the way down, resting your forehead on your palms, whatever feels good to you. 5 breaths right here. Coming back up. Curl those back toes under, coming back up to downward facing dog, 3-legged dog. Send that foot back up to the ceiling and release. We'll take that to the other side. Left foot up to the ceiling. Bend that knee, open up that hip, working to really stack those hips while pressing into both hands equally. Shoulders are square. Squaring off those hips, hinging forward, bringing that knee in, and placing it behind the left palm this time. Inching that back foot back for pigeon pose. Staying up high here. Mindful that you're not leaning on one side too much. If you need to have a prop, that's fine. You can sit up on a pillow or a block or a towel. Come down to the forearms if you'd like, or stay up high. It's your choice. Or resting your forehead on your palms. Whatever feels good. We're here for 5 breaths. Coming back up. Curl those back toes under, sending it back up to 3-legged dog. And down to downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. You can walk, you can hop, you can float, whatever you choose. Halfway lift here. Fold it down. All the way up now, reaching to the ceiling, hands at heart center. Good job, everybody. Go ahead and bring your feet as wide as your mat, toes out, heels in, coming to yogi squat. Now you can keep your heels lifted if that feels best for you. If that's where you are in your journey, just honor that. Keeping our torso, our abs pulled in, we're going to go ahead and bring the hips down into our yogi squat. Crown of the head high, tailbone down, elbows inside the knees, pressing those knees out. And breathing here. Go ahead and bring those hands behind and sit back. Very good. Take a deep breath and appreciate your practice today. You're doing an excellent job. From here, we'll go into boat pose. Shifting the weight back onto that tailbone area. You can lift your toes, keeping your toes on the mat. Wherever you are in your boat pose, it's beneficial. So listen to your body. Now the idea is that we're trying to pull our chest upward while balancing and perhaps bringing your shins parallel to the mat. Arms reach forward, staying here, or straightening those legs. This is working the hip flexors. Bringing that back, knees into the chest there, and release. Great job bringing those soles together now. Cobbler's pose. Bringing the soles together, knees wide. Take a look down at your feet here. Give them a nice massage. Paying attention to your workhorses here, your feet. Give them some love. Massaging them, maybe pulling each toe in turn, stretching each toe. Feels pretty good. Hanging on, you can hang on to those ankles as you elongate the spine. Pulling, feeling that stretch in the inner groin area. And then if it feels good to you, begin to hinge forward to wherever is your sweet spot. No pain, just yummy stretch. Back up, bringing those knees together, legs out long, Dandasana, staff pose. Palms forward, and we're going to very slowly come to lie flat, as slow as you can go. It's not easy, but so good for you. And down. Once you arrive, go ahead and bring those knees up to the chest, up toward the armpits. Pull them in. Tailbone down to the mat, shoulder blades snuggled underneath you. Left leg long now. Coming to supine twist. Left knee over to right knee over to the left. Right arm reaches out long. Gaze over those right fingers. And 3 breaths here, letting gravity really work for you here as we cool down. Back to center on an exhale, pulling those knees in once more. Take it to the other side, right leg long. Left knee over the body to the right. Shoulder blades are anchored to the mat, snuggled underneath. Gaze is over the left fingertips. 3 breaths here. Exhale, bring it back to center. Pulling those knees in once more. And this time, let's do some very large knee circles. Going one way, massaging that upper glute and lower back. And then reverse your circle. Excellent job. Taking any last move you might need or might feel good, maybe a happy baby. It's up to you. And then legs out long. Arms fall naturally to the side with palms facing up for Shavasana. Shavasana, one of the hardest poses for some, for me, but one of the most beneficial. Finding stillness, finding the calm within you, the ease within you, relaxing your facial muscles, the tongue, the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, letting the palms rest in a natural position, the fingers curled, feeling your heart beating in your chest faithfully, noticing the rhythm of your breath, the natural rhythm of your breath. Relaxing your thighs, your calves, your ankles, and your feet. You might want to remember the mantra, I am exactly where I need to be, and I find the calm within me. We're here for 1 minute. Begin to bring movement back into your toes and your fingertips. Maybe take a stretch up overhead, arms overhead. Biggest stretch you've had all day. And slowly make your way to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice, finding calm and knowing you're exactly where you need to be, finding comfort in the moment at hand. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.